I'm Cole Hauser, and this is the Active Listening and Misunderstandings discussion post. Um, I think the biggest misunderstandings I've ever had were discussions with my parents, and that mainly came from a misunderstanding of tone and meaning. Usually, if I'm ever within a mood, it's hard to control my tonality, especially if I'm having kind of like an emotional talk with my parents. So it can often get in the way of what I'm actually trying to say and communicate. It can often seem the opposite because of the discontinuity between them. And it can be the same with my parents back to me. And a good active listening strategy that I can do, at least when my parents have a discontinuity and they might be angry but are trying to give me like real advice, have a real discussion with me, is either I think the biggest one I have is looking at their body language and asking for either rephrasing or just clarifying what they mean, because this discontinuity, especially within deep social cues of very close relationships, it's hard to tell what the other person exactly means, and this is always going to happen. Especially with misunderstandings are always going to arise, which is why I think active listening is so important when you're with, especially with things like very close relationships, like close friends, a partner, your parents. You're going to have these relationships for a while. They're very close. Misunderstandings are always going to happen, so you have to pay extra attention when you're having a conversation so those misunderstandings don't lead to a fight that should have never been there in the first place, or a disagreement that shouldn't have been there, just because one person might have misunderstood what somebody was saying. Anyways, thank you.